Hello, this is Angela, and welcome to another unprofessional, poorly edited video from Strategize This on things that I like to do and places that I go. So, as promised, today I was going to release a video on how I pulled together my air conditioning system for my Project M. So, I have a small Project M by 4-wheel camper that's installed on a 2023 Ford Ranger with a 5-foot bed. So, we're talking about just a little bit of space. However, don't forget that when you pop that top up, you've got a lot of space at the top, and you have a lot of ways for the cold air to escape, even around your tailgate and around the windows and everything else. So air conditioning a Project M, even if this one is small, it still has some challenges that come with it. But I have been able to create a system that is very efficient, and I'm going to share with you everything that I considered and why I made the decisions that I made. So let's first start with the reality that my air conditioning system and my Predator generator right outside my truck are both running right now. I'm sitting right beside my air conditioner. I can barely hear it. The Predator, I can hear it a little bit, but not too much. It's not that big a deal. Okay, so where are we operating right now? So right now, I want to see what the wattage is. Just calculating it up. So right now, and hopefully this will focus in okay. I can't tell, but you can see it's like 464. I think it's 464 watts is what my air conditioner is pulling right now. And if you know anything about RV air conditioners, they can pull an incredible amount of wattage. Some of the larger 12,000 volt or 12,000 BTU air conditioners can pull anywhere from 1,500 to 2,000 watts. So to pull 400 and something is incredible. It also, at that low level, it would allow your Predator generator to operate at echo mode on some models. So the first thing that I want to do is draw your attention to the overview, which last year I put out a YouTube short. I think it was one of my first ones, where I actually showed you the front of my Project M in the desert highlands of Wyoming, and then I ran around to the back and showed you what it looked like when it was air conditioned. And I've made some improvements since then that were sorely needed, and I'll kind of go over some of those modifications so you don't make the same mistakes I do. Okay, so right now, let's talk about what we're looking at with what I did versus having an RV air conditioner installed in my Project M. So things may have changed. This video is being done in July of 2026. So things may have changed since I was told this back in 2024. But when I was first looking at getting the Project M air conditioned, I was told that to install an air conditioner on the top, that it would cost me somewhere between $4,000 and $7,000. And that there was only one air conditioner that could go up there because of the weight, and so it wasn't going to be very cost efficient to do it. Now, people who have Project M's, they go off-road a lot, so they're boondocking a lot, and I'm boondocking today. But I do have solar panels, I have 200 watts of solar panels on the roof, and I have a gas generator out there, and so I'm boondocking, but I'm not suffering. Okay, so let's start looking at all the different components. Well, let me finish going over the thing with the air conditioner itself. So in RV air conditioners, they have a notoriously low efficiency rating. So what I went with, and let me jump over here to the Home Depot site. This is not the exact model. This is a newer model of what I bought. But this is a Midea 8,000 watt U-shaped smart inverter window AC that cools up to 350 square feet. And like I said, it's by Midea, and it also has a remote control and Wi-Fi. That's how we can monitor it on my phone to see what it's pulling. Let's see if the wattage has changed. It is just, the fan is running right now, and so let's see where we're at. No, the air conditioner is running too. Let's see where we're at. Okay, so it's gotten up to 638, which is still within the range of the Echo switch on the Predator. Now it just dropped to 637. So we'll keep an eye on it throughout this entire video. Okay, so when you're looking at an RV air conditioner, you're looking at something that's not very efficient, that pulls a lot of wattage. But with a residential grade window air conditioner, you're getting so much efficiency. So in contrast, the U-shaped Midea is 35 to 45% more energy efficient than even the traditional models of the RV air conditioners and the window air conditioners. And this information, the consumption data on the RV air conditioners, came from, I looked at Renogy, I hope I said that right, and King Klima, and then I compared it to the Midea U-shaped air conditioners from their official product information. So that kind of gives you an idea of how big the contrast is. Now, grant you, the air conditioner that I have is an 8,000 BTU U-shaped Midea, and the one that's on the roof that I'm looking at was a 12,000 watt RV. So not exactly the same in terms of our BTU, but still very inefficient. Okay, so this was the air conditioner that I got and installed it in there. Okay, now I also went to Harbor Freight and I got me a Predator super quiet inverter generator. And you know, I've come to like Harbor Freight a whole lot. I generally thought that they were like very low level in everything that they did, but this is very competitive even against the Honda generators, and I am extremely happy with it. So what I ended up getting was a 2500 watt Predator, which was inverter generator, which was, you know, more than enough for what I needed. So let me see if I can find mine. Mine's probably looking more like that. So this was a generator. So here is the 2500 super quiet inverter generator with carbon dioxide secure technology for $600. That was actually less than what I bought mine for. Okay, but they are quiet. So well worth the investment on that. The other reason why I got this is because it has an echo mode, and it also has two 110 volt hookups, so that I can use one for my power station to charge my Dabson, and then also to run the air conditioner. So I run the air conditioner directly off the generator. Okay, so another thing that I bought, we've already talked about the air conditioner, so we won't go back to that. Okay, so the other part of my power system is a Dabson DBS 2300 Plus power station, and this one doesn't look like the Plus. So let's see here. 2300. Where's the 2300 power station? Oh, they have a 2300 Plus Max now. Okay, so this one is just the straight 2300. Let me see if I can. Yeah, it looks like the only thing they're offering now is the 2300. Okay, so this more takes care of all my internal stuff, my cooking, my lights, and a lot of times I cook electric. Takes care of running this computer, runs a little electric heater when I need it, even though I also have propane in here. Everything that I need, I run off of that, and that is recharged. Sometimes I use the generator. Sometimes I hook it up just to a 110 power source, and I can also charge it off the solar panels and while I'm driving. So it's got a lot of different ways that you can do it. Okay, the next part of this is that I bought from Amazon these HDPE sheets that are a 1/4 inch thick, and this is what I decided to build my faux tailgate out of instead of wood, because last year when I did it, the wood warped because I was out for so long with the changing conditions, and I ended up having to throw it away, and it was splitting and everything. But I think this is going to work out a lot better. Okay, so then another thing that I bought off of, this is the same one. Okay, so another thing that I bought, now this isn't the exact one that I bought, this is an example of what I bought. I bought a diverter for my Medea that was a floor diverter, and let me show you this picture here. This allows you to open it up while it's flat, but also raise it so that you can adjust the direction of the airflow. Because one of the shortcomings with the Project M is because it's so tall, the air, you need to be able to open up that vent and divert the air straight up to the top. Otherwise, you're just blowing it down to the ground, and you're not getting good use of it. Okay, and then the last thing I want to mention is Boge RV. I love their SIGS solar panels. When you get them, they're even rolled up in a tube. I have 200 watts on the roof that for the most part takes care of charging up my Dabson. Okay, so those are all things that if you're going to be overlanding over a period of time, you're going to end up having to buy most of that. Obviously not the vent diverter and the vent deflector and the air conditioner, okay, but you're going to have to buy some sort of power station. You're going to probably buy a generator. You're probably going to have to buy solar panels. So that investment, those are kind of like sunk costs. You're going to have to spend that anyway. Okay, so now let's start looking at the images. There is one more thing that I need to show you, which is GenTent. This is one of my favorite products, and I'll put a link to all of this in the description of this video. But as you can see in this video, this generator tent covers it so that you can run it out in the rain. I have not just one for the one that I use when I'm boondocking, but also the one that covers my 10,000 watt Westinghouse generator at home, and I have run it through a hurricane. Run the generator during a hurricane when I ran and lost power. So this is just a tremendous product. I don't buy a generator without buying a GenTent for it. So it makes my life so much easier, and especially when you're in an area like South Dakota where the weather is very volatile, being able to just put that tent on it, and you don't have to worry about it if it starts raining in the middle of the night. You don't have to make any concessions or any plans. You just cover it and forget about it, and it keeps your generator operable and safe. So that's the last product, and then we're going to start looking at these pictures. I lied. I have this last one to show you. So I got these off of Amazon. These are curtains that I bought in November. BG Mint Rod Pocket blackout curtains. I bought some that were 63 inches long and some that were 84 inches long. So I bought the ones that were 84 inches long to cover that back exit, which is at the tailgate of the Project M. And if you look at the top, I connected it with Velcro. I got to do some repairs to the Velcro because it's kind of coming undone. But that's what I use, not only to keep the insects out, but also to create a blackout curtain kind of thing that is kind of just a nested area where it controls. These are thermal and they're blackout, so it controls a lot of the heat. So, and again, you get 2 panels. That's plenty. That goes all the way across. And you can cover the whole back of your Project M and block that back window because that black window pulls in a lot of heat. Okay, so I think that is it now. So let me start showing you the pictures. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start at the generator end. And we'll talk about that. Okay, so this is a picture of my Predator 2500 watt generator with my Gen 10 Extreme, and I do like to get the Extreme model. And you know what? I cannot remember why I prefer it, but there's a big difference in the materials that are used to make these. So if you get just the regular Gen 10, be mindful of the fact that the materials are going to be very different. The Gen 10 Extreme is extremely strong, and that's what I want when I'm out camping for months at a time or putting my generator through a hurricane. All right, so there's my wattage. So I got a 2500 watt. Now, this is where we're going to kind of get into the math a little bit, but this is all very important to what you're trying to do as far as energy efficiency. So 2500 watt generator is about the smallest I could go, given that I had a 2300 watt Dabson to charge up. With my Dabson 2300, I had to drop the charging rate to 1000 watts so that I could plug the air conditioner into one and then the Dabson into the other to charge it back up. So this model of Predator also has an echo button on it, and I haven't used the echo button yet, but I will be soon, because I want to make sure that I can get the maximum fuel efficiency by keeping my wattage really low and letting that generator go into echo mode, which basically means it starts gearing down the motor so that it consumes gas at a slower rate, and then while still giving you what you need. And again, right now my generator is kicking off. The Midea U-shaped generator is kicking off. All right, let's see what we got as far as wattage. All right, so we are looking at 620 watts from the Midea, and the generator just kicked it up a little bit because the air conditioner compressor kicked on, and I can barely hear it out there. Okay, so let's see what else. Also, I have this little upside down, it is a plastic boot tray that I put the Predator on, and you can see there's a lot of space in front of it. This is the side that the exhaust comes out of, and it's always killing the grass everywhere I go, and that aggravates me. So I rest the back of this Predator on the grass, and then I just kind of elevate this side a little bit, and it not elevate it, but put it on the plastic boot rack turned upside down, which is important. You turn it upside down because if it is raining, you don't want the water to collect in the boot tray, so you turn it upside down, and then you don't have to worry about it, and then you just put the Predator on top of it, and then it won't kill the grass everywhere you go. Okay, and then my Gen 10. All right. Now, then I got my power cords from Harbor Freight. Also, they have pretty good prices. All right. And then I ran it around to... Let's see if I can pull it around to the back of the truck. Okay, so this is that HDPE, I guess board, I'll call it board, and you can tell here, if I can, okay, yeah, I can zoom in. I have cut around everything that got in the way. It didn't quite reach on this side, so I'm going to be doing an extension over here. But you can tell this string this is the handle that broke on the Project M door. I got to repair that. So that's nothing that happened. It happened with the board. And then I just used regular hinges, just regular door hinges, to create a door that I could open on this side and get in and out of. And then my air conditioner just sits on the back. Now it's going to get my truck bed cover all wet, So I do need to put another one of those boot trays or whatever under it, but for right now I don't really care because I'm not going to be running it that much, and it's not that humid out here. It is humid, more humid than it has been, but it's not awful. So, you know, for this limited amount of time I'm going to use it, it's fine. But here's my Medea. And then you can tell here, if you look down here at the bottom, you can see where I cut in to the plastic, to this plastic board. And I just used regular tools, regular woodworking tools like jigsaws and stuff like that to cut this. It's very easy to work with. It does make a mess. It throws little fragments of plastic everywhere. So wherever you are, make sure you're sawing and drilling in a place that you don't, it's going to be easy for you to clean up because it throws it everywhere, and wear your safety goggles. All right, so I cut a little area here. And so this is the part that would usually hang outside the window, and then the inside part I'll show you in just a second. And don't judge me because my Project M is really junky right now because I've been working this morning and I just finished fixing lunch and I got to clean up and everything before I go and do anything else this afternoon that's fun. But my Project M is a little junky right now. Okay, so that takes care of how that is situated. All right. Then the next thing I'm going to show you is what it looks like on the inside. Again, don't judge me. Oh, that's the vent. All right, so let's look at the whole air conditioner first. It doesn't matter. They're about the same picture. Okay, so junky, of course, dirty because it's been all over the place. But this is my Medea U-shaped air conditioner. Have it set at 60 degrees, and I put this floor vent that has like this accordion lift in it to direct the airflow. And I could have gotten fancy, but I didn't. I just sealed off this whole area with Gorilla Tape, and I think this picture probably shows it a little better. Just made sure that I only exposed the part of the exit on the vent that that I could feed through this diffuser, and then I just used Gorilla Tape to seal everything else up. Now, you've got to be careful when you do this because you can start creating problems because you're restricting the airflow too much. So just make sure you think it through and that you test it for a while and make sure you're not damaging your unit by constricting the flow. But, and I did, they had diverter panels in there that kind of worked. It would send the air left and right. I tore those out because I didn't need them. I needed up and down. Okay. Okay, and then inside, which you can see the curtains behind me already, here are my blackout curtains, and you can see, I mean, this is high noon. It's very bright outside, and these curtains I got from Amazon, and they're wonderful. I have bought, I put the curtains 4 different places. I covered the side window in the Project M with a shorter one. I think it's only like 24 inches. I got the 2 back ones so that I could keep the bugs out, and also use that to keep the cold weather or the cold in or the heat in, depending on the season. And then I even, between my living area and where my bed is, I hung curtains too, because some nights when it would get really chilly, I would just have those curtains up there, and I just connected them with Velcro, and it kept the bed area in the Project M warmer too. Okay, and then here is a picture of my Dabson 2300, and you know, this is just running off of solar panel right now. I'm pulling in 59, or I'm using 59 watts and pulling 141 watts in from my SIGS RVM at 77% power. Okay, so this is how all the components fit together, and now let's talk about the reason why I made the decisions that I made. And in the meantime, let's go ahead and check what the air conditioner is doing again. Okay, so now it looks like it's pulling, I don't know if you could tell or not, let's see if that's even 528 is what I'm trying to show you. Oh, it just jumped up to 563. All right, so still very slow. Okay, so the object of my game is to get this generator into echo mode. So with the Predator 2500, it's my understanding from everything that I've read that you need to have, you can't use echo mode unless your consumption on the Predator is between 500 or less than 800, less than 800 watts. So let's look. Let me make sure that I'm right on that. Because that is going. So these are my notes that I made. When you're running a heavy load like an RV air conditioner, it's best to have that echo mode turned off. Because if you remember, if you've got a Predator 2500 and then you're going to be pulling 15 to 2000 watts, you can't run an echo mode. That's not going to work. So, so when I was looking at how do they define relatively low, it looks like relatively low on a Predator 2500 is between 500 and 800 watts that I could put it into echo mode, which is going to increase the amount of time that generator is going to run on gas. So if I am running the air conditioner off the generator and I'm at 637 like I am now, then I'm well within that range. Okay. So let's talk about the next thing I showed you, which was the back of the truck. So the first year that I did this, I used wood. I used a thin, I think it was maple. And if I was just going, it was very lightweight, which was a plus. This stuff is kind of heavy. This is going to be a little bit heavier. It's a little bit more rigid. But it's a lot. It was filthy from me going through the Badlands because I had put it over here on my cargo rack, and you see how dirty everything is on my cargo rack. So these panels were really filthy, and I was able, before I put them up for the air conditioner this morning, I was able to wash them off with my water hose and scrub them down a little bit, get them cleaned up, and they got a nice little shine to them. They weigh a little bit more, but they don't seem to be warping in the weather, and more importantly in the weather changes, because where I am in South Dakota, some nights it goes down to 38 degrees and the days are 85, and that extreme one to the other can cause the wood to warp and everything. And even though I painted the wood before I used it, before I made my faux tailgate, it wasn't, I put 2 or 3 coats of paint on it. It didn't seem to do any good at all. You can look on YouTube videos. One is a man, I think he's in South Carolina or North Carolina, and he's a hunter, and he was the one that I originally saw make a faux tailgate. There's different ways to do it, different materials. Most of the ones I've seen have been wood, but I really do like this HDPE that you can get from Amazon. It's a little pricey. It's going to be, I think if we were looking at it, it was $100, $67 a sheet. I'm sure it's gone up a little bit more now. But I would refrain from using wood. Also, you might want to put some weather stripping at the bottom and around all this area that you have cut out. I cut out a little bit bigger than I needed. The other thing is, when you lift this Project M door up right here, you're going to notice that the plastic sheet goes up too high and interferes with this lock. So you're also going to have to notch out the lock in a way that allows this to lock properly without damaging this Project M door, but also without giving up any security, because you still want to use your door to secure this. Okay. I would not waste my time going with a normal window unit, a regular squared off window unit. It's very hard to make it fit properly, except if you are tent camping and you were using a Kodiak canvas. I think it's a 4100 series, like 4107 or whatever. It's the tents that look like prairie wagons. if you are going to be using that tent to go out in, then you might want to do away with the U-shaped one and use just a regular one so you can get a tighter seal around it. But that's something you're going to have to evaluate on your own. All right, these curtains, I got them basically because they're very reasonably priced with Amazon. I got blue because it matched everything else on the inside of my Project M. It was recommended to me to use the heavy curtains for blackout, and then I also bought, and I did have them sitting out here. I must have moved them, but I did get just regular sheer curtains from this same company that I use to cover my windows. I made inserts for my windows with the sheer curtains because it does a better job than the netting that they have on the Project M now. So it's so get these as your heavy duty, keeping the heat in or keeping the air conditioner in, and use the curtain liners for the bugs. All right, let's see what else. And I think, is there anything I need to tell you about the Dabson? Okay, I would not run the air conditioner off the Dabson. Okay, I have tried it. It's okay, but it's going to kill your battery really, really quick. So with that Predator, you have two 110-volt connections. Here's the key. With the air conditioner, you want to plug in the air conditioner and let it run for about 45 minutes. Because for that first 45 minutes, it's going to pull an unusual amount of power. Now, grant you, it's not pulling a whole lot anyway. Probably might go up to like 750, I think, was the highest thing in the first 45 minutes. Okay? Let it run and kind of settle in. And then, with the air conditioner, I actually turn on most of the efficiency factors. It's got an energy monitor, a temp range limit, echo, cool. So I turn on all the energy factors and configure all of those to try to take it down to 366 watts for my air conditioner. I wish you could see it better. It's kind of hard for me to bring it into focus, but it's 366 watts. So on 366 watts with the Predator running at echo efficient, with that echo button off, you might be able to get 12 hours, 10 to 12 hours of air conditioning, if that's all you're running off of it. Now, if you're also trying to charge your Dabson, just make sure that you reduce the charging, the charging limit. It comes preset, I think, at 1800 watts. I've got mine set at 1000 so that it doesn't stress it. But at night, which is really when today it was unusually hot, but at night I really want to have the air conditioner running. So I'm out there by myself. Nobody's going to hear the generator. Nobody cares about the air conditioner. So the air conditioner run is the only thing running on the generator, and it cycles on and off all night. I put it in echo mode, and it doesn't overload it, and it will literally run all night and into the morning until after I cook breakfast or whatever. Okay, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to tell you. I don't think so. I think I got all of this in here. So if you have any questions, I'm going to leave the comments open on this, and I don't have any problem collaborating. And when I get my new Project M for my Ford F-250, which I'm hoping to buy next year, keep your fingers crossed, my cabinets will be professionally done, and but I'm going to be doing my air conditioner the same way. This is the way to go. It is beyond measure how much better it is. Okay, take care. Have a great day.